Me again, but this time on a video to show you how to shape and prepare the dough to have your bread ready to be cooked. So what will you need in this phase? So you will need some white flour, you will need a spatula, you will need a bread lame, okay, very shaped. You will need a pastry brush, a glass full of water, parchment paper. You will also need a chopping board and a clean dish towel, clean and dry. So let's start. My dough is now ready. It has been prepared in my bread machine. I'll use the spatula to take off the dough from the pan. It should come off easily. And I will dust some flour on the chopping board so that the dough doesn't stick on the chopping board. So now I'm taking off the dough that comes very easily. Okay, and I will put some flour on the dough so that it doesn't stick on my fingers and on my hand, and I'm gonna roll over the dough. So now this is a very important step. You will take your dough that way, and you will make a movement so that the exterior of the dough get on the bottom inside, and that way you will capture some air on the bottom of your dough. What is very important when you do that, be very gentle so that there is no tear on the dough. Otherwise the crust won't be as crusty as it should. So you form kind of a round shape, stucking the air on the bottom. Once you have done that, you will put the dough on the parchment paper, and now you will form the shape you want. So if you want a round bread, you can keep it that way. If you want it more rectangular, you will push gently on the dough so that it will spread on the sides. So whatever shape you want, but be very gentle once again. And do not forget that the bread will rise again. So that round shape will be that big, okay? So I like to spread it a little bit that way, very gently. Okay. Okay, so now we're gonna put that back on the chopping board so that the bread is not on a cold surface, and the yeast can still work, because yeast needs warm to rise. This is very important. And we're gonna place the clean dish towel on the top, and we will let the bread rise for 30 minutes. Now you have to set up your timer on 15 minutes. In 15 minutes, you will turn on your oven on 480 degrees on convection bake. 480 degrees on convection bake. That will allow the oven to heat for 15 minutes. So overall, you will have 30 minutes of rise of your bread and 15 minutes to heat your oven. I see you in 30 minutes. So my dough has risen during 30 minutes. My oven is at the right temperature. So I'm ready for the final steps before placing the bread into the oven. So the dough has risen gently. First, I will use the bread lame and slice gently on the surface the bread. So I'm not going deep into the bread or the dough, but on the surface that way. So you can make maybe 3 slices or 2 slices, depending on the size of your bread. So that way, I'll do 3 because it's quite wide, and I'll do 2 on the other side. Then I will put some water just to humidify and have the crust a little bit wet on the top. I will use that later. And I will add some flour for the final aspect of the bread and the crust. So now I'm ready to place the bread into the oven. So it's going to be quick. I will open the door, place the dough into the oven, and then throw the water so that there is a humidity coming out from it, and I'll close the door immediately. So let's do it. Have your glass handy. Okay. And now we will let the bread cook for 25 minutes. See you in 25 minutes. The bread is now ready, so we will be able to take it out of the oven. So here it is, very brown, as I told you, which will not be the case with other flours. This is really different with the garbanzo beans flour, and you can hear that it's very crunchy. So your bread is ready. If you have any questions, any remarks, do not hesitate to contact me. It will be my pleasure to answer any questions, and see you soon. Enjoy baking your bread. Bye.